earthquakes in diverse places. That is for sure. We are seeing another uptick in terms of earthquake patterns, but this one doesn't deal with the seismicity. This is dealing with where they're hitting at all the way around. And we have seen the swarming up here in Alaska ever since the big quake popped off up here in the northern region. The swarming is kind of spread out. It's low magnitude, but it's stretching all the way down here into the volcanic region. And the area that used to see the most swarming, centered right around the heart of Mount Denali, everything is shifted away from there. It's kind of to the west of it, to the north, and down this volcanic branch that runs all the way down here toward Russia. Now, for those of you that do not know, in terms of the deep quakes, the biggest one that they had tracked and had mentioned in terms of the deep quakes was an 8.3 that struck right here in Russia. Here recently, we had the 8.2 that had struck in Fiji. The Fiji, Vanuatu areas out here, they're very susceptible to big quakes. We have the ocean breaking apart into big chunks out here, the ocean floor, should I say. And New Zealand's been very quiet. New Zealand hasn't seen a big quake in some time. That concerns me because the last time that they've had big quakes, they were massive. They shifted the earth up out of the ground below the ocean, ejecting it up, protruding out of the water, in some areas 8 to 10 feet. All the sea life still sitting there. All of it died. And there's no changing any of this. When the earth shifts like that dramatically, there's no going back. The same thing just happened in the Lombok region. I believe they said 10 centimeters that the ground had shifted after the big quake that had struck there. This is an area I would continue to watch. All those big quakes now just go silent. That tells me there's energy still building there. Usually you want to see a swarm and the swarm die down. That shows you there's a full release of the energy and that it has been released in a manner to where you can sit there and watch the energy being released and the magnitude getting lower and lower and lower. Now, if you have big quakes and all of a sudden everything goes quiet, those could be foreshocks. We've seen that before in the past as well. And Vanuatu got hit with the 6.7 here recently. Now we have a 7.1. So a 7.1 striking Peru in a region that I was talking about in the last earthquake video. Matter of fact, after looking at the Ring of Fire and all the activity, this is the specific area that I targeted in the last earthquake video, stating that it was absolutely quiet. Anytime you have an area like this that is prone to earthquake activity that goes quiet for this long, it's due for something like this. Now, a 7.1 is a big quake. There is no swarming coming from this. That's got my attention. It was a very deep quake. Look at that. So the destruction that it could have caused could have been minimal because of the depth of the quake. Now you will have noticed we also have activity out here. The Atlantic Ridge, Azores. And we can't forget Venezuela got hit by the 7.3 right here as well. So within a week, you can see all the activity that's popping up in this region. We had a decent quake strike up here off the coast of Canada. We had one strike right here off the coast of Oregon. California in this area has not seen any major activity from Southern California here down into Baja, into Mexico, Southern Texas. These are areas I'm watching for now, into the Caribbean, all the way down into Guatemala, Costa Rica, into this region, because there is a plate here that pinches, that dives in underneath this area. And I would like to think that somehow it's being affected by these big quakes. Venezuela and now Peru. So I'll continue to monitor this area through here to see if we have any other activity. And every now and then we've seen odd quakes pop off on the eastern side over here, which is very rare. I'm not talking about the rise out here. I'm talking about on the coastline. And that goes with the United States as well. The East Coast, all the way down through the Americas, usually does not have earthquake activity, minus this section here. The coastline through here and all the way down through here. But a definite uptick. And if we look here at Colorado, Colorado's seeing some unusual activity. 4.3, 2.9. Some more activity there. We'll get a quick refresh. And this is a look at the global map. So a look here at the most recent activity. I will update with any other big quake stuff that pops off here, any tsunami information, any volcanic activity. Make sure to tune into Underground World News Live, 8 p.m. Eastern, Dabu 77, Friday nights. Hope to see you guys there. Much love.